The Apple Watches are definitely one of my favorite fitness trackers, and one thing that I've been trying to figure out is how can I make it as accurate as possible. Today's video, I'm going to take you through the 8 steps required to make sure that your Apple Watch is super accurate. This was pulled off of the Apple support website, so we'll have that link below as well as any other resources. Let's get it. Tip number 1, keep your personal information up to date. So what you want to do is actually go ahead and grab your iPhone, pull up the Watch app, go ahead and scroll down to Health. There's Health, and inside it's gonna say Health Details. Tap on that, and here you'll be able to see my birthday, my sex, my height and weight, and if I'm in a wheelchair or not, as well as including any medications that might affect my heart rate. You can tap Edit and be able to change that information. Information is up to date, and obviously your height is probably not gonna change much if you're fully grown, but your weight might. What I like to do in terms of weight is actually have a smart scale that integrates with Apple Health. We'll go to Apple Health. I'm gonna search body weight, and you can see over the last 6 months, my body weight has drastically changed. So what I will use is a smart scale that connects to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. I prefer Wi-Fi, so I don't have to do much work. And it sends that raw data, here's show all data, directly into my iPhone app. So I'll have my up-to-date weight that will sync to my Apple Watch and get the most accurate information as possible. Fun fact, this is my weight over the last year. I've been gaining weight, losing weight. It's really interesting to see my weight drastically change over the past like 3 to 4 years. Like I was extremely light 5 years ago, almost 50 pounds lighter. That's insane. Look at that, 173 was one of my first weights, and then I just started gaining weight, 196, and then all the way up to what we've hit like 215 at one point. I'm a big boy now. We need to start cutting some weight. Tip number 2, make sure that you earn move and exercise credits. Most people are devout followers of the rings, right? You got your move, your exercise, and your stand rings. Boom. Now every minute that equals or exceeds a brisk walk is going to count towards your move and your exercise goals. And your cardio fitness levels help decide what a brisk walk is for you. For wheelchair folks, this is measured in brisk pushes. Any activity below that level is going to just count towards your move goal. So if you're in competition, I love to share my data with a ton of friends right here, and we exchange our exercise and our move info. If I want to beat them in the exercise metrics, I need to make sure that when I'm walking, my Apple Watch is on my wrist, allow my arm to swing naturally. And if you're walking like holding boxes or you're walking your dog, wear your watch on this arm and walk your dog with the other arm, just to make sure you get all the data. Now, if you do need both arms for whatever you're doing, for example, like pushing a stroller, I don't have kids, not yet, or any that I know of, you'll want to start an outdoor walk in the Apple Watch workout app, because that's actually going to use more sensors in the Apple Watch to help track your movement. The activity app here is going to rely on your arm motion and accelerometer, but when you use the workout app, it's actually going to use the accelerometer, heart rate sensor, and GPS to get that information for you. Especially when you're doing a stroller, you want to start that outdoor walk, and it'll make sure that you count those exercise minutes. Boom. It just came up. Time to stand, baby. We need to get up and move. If I want to get my stand in hours, fill up that entire block, you need to actually just move for 1 minute, and then this will update. Because we all know we need to close those circles, baby. Tip number 3, make sure wrist detection is on. So go into the Apple Watch app, go to passcode. Make sure that this toggle right here, wrist detection, is activated. If wrist detection is not activated, you won't get stand notifications, and your Apple Watch can't track your stand progress, which is your 3rd ring. And lastly, background heart rates won't be taken, like resting or walking heart rates. If you're someone who tends to forget to unlock their watch or their iPhone, this can reduce a little bit of security, but I do prefer it. I will unlock my iPhone with my Apple Watch. Anytime my iPhone is near my Apple Watch, I can unlock my iPhone with it. This is great, especially if you're wearing a mask or Face ID or certain things aren't working. On the settings app, you can go ahead and search watch, and you'll be able to see unlock with Apple Watch. Type in your code right here. If you'd like to scroll all the way down, there is an unlock with Apple Watch feature. So you can unlock your iPhone with your Apple Watch. There's also another feature on the Mac where I can go ahead and turn on unlock my Mac with the Apple Watch. So I will also turn that on, and this device just becomes a great all-around unlocking security wearable on my wrist. Tip number 4, check the fit. So one thing you want to make sure is that the fit is just right. Not too tight, not too loose. If you have the trail loop or Velcro type strap, it's pretty easy to tighten it to the exact amount that you need. If it has notches, kind of like this strap right here, just make sure you pick the right one, right? You can't really go in between, but pick one that makes it feel snug and right just for you. When it comes to workouts, I tend to tighten my strap. So if I'm working out, I'll go ahead and come here, go maybe one more. Don't make it too tight where you're losing blood flow, but just enough where I know that this isn't gonna wiggle around or move. It's pretty close and snug with my wrist. There's not going to be any light bleed. And anytime I'm doing like a workout where I'm throwing things up and down, it's going to measure the heart rate as accurate as possible. Also, when I do some kinds of kettlebell raises, the watch is in the way, so I will actually flip my watch onto the front side of my wrist, but According to Apple support, the sensors will not work properly. It still measures my heart rate, but this is not the right place to put your Apple Watch. Now, tightening is not the only factor. There are some that might be out of your control. Tattoos, skin color, hair, skin perfusion because of the temperature outside. Because how this Apple Watch sensor and most fitness tracker sensors work is they're using lights, right? They're sending a diode of light, and based on the light that's reflecting back, they're trying to figure out what your heart rate is. So if there's less blood flow and it's harder for that light to go in and bounce back, it'll be harder for the algorithm to figure out what your potential heart rate is. So just keep those things in mind, right? If you're working out outside and there's drastic temperature changes. And if you're planning to get tattoos, maybe don't get any tattoos past the upper part of your wrist, because Peter McKinnon, the Apple Watch just doesn't work for you, boss. Now, if you're trying to do heart rate zone training or specific heart rate based training, I highly recommend you get a chest heart rate strap monitor. This uses a different technology where it uses electricity to measure what your heart rate is. So it's actually measuring it right at your chest. You want to overlay this over your chest, under your shirt. Typically, you can put a gel or water, moisture, to make sure that it's capturing that data. And then I can connect the chest heart rate monitor to my Apple Watch. I prefer to use either the Polar or the Garmin chest strap. I can have those linked below if you want. But that is an extra step. It also requires connecting via Bluetooth, and that's another thing you need to have battery and charge for. I've found in most scenarios, I'm okay with just using the Apple Watch heart rate, but if I want absolute accuracy, that's what I'm gonna go with. It updates much faster. I think it checks every second almost, versus the Apple Watch can take a couple seconds to update. So that's like an added benefit right there. Probably meant for elite athletes or aspiring elite athletes or wannabe athletes like me. Motion is another factor, right? If you're running, there's a lot of motion in your wrist, so it's gonna move. If the watch weight is higher, so an Apple Watch Ultra versus the really small SE are gonna move less because of the weight. That's also gonna impact the potential heart rate calculations. Keep that in mind. And if you're wondering how do the exercise calculations get measured, not only is it the accelerometer, right, movement of your wrist, but it can be the heart rate reading and also the GPS whenever you're using the workout app. For example, if I'm doing an outdoor run, I always try to make sure on the Ultra that GPS gets locked before I go ahead and start the workout. We're technically indoors, so it's probably not gonna find GPS, but you wanna have a clear view of the sky. Less clouds, less trees is just gonna make it that much better. I really hope they add that GPS icon to all the other watches because I really love that. I'm able to make these videos because of our sponsors. So today I want to thank our sponsor, Bombas. Bombas is a comfort-focused apparel brand that also has a mission to help those in need. If you didn't know, socks, t-shirts, and underwear are actually some of the most requested clothing in homeless shelters. And with every purchase at Bombas, they will donate a like item to those in need. To date, Bombas has donated over 100 million items. Not only does Bombas have a mission to do good, but they also make you feel good too. If you have been watching my videos, you probably noticed that I wear Bombas socks almost all the time. Their socks don't have those annoying toe seams, their t-shirts don't have the itchy tags, and the underwear with minimized seams for all-day comfort. I love wearing my Bombas socks whenever I'm working out, just because I've noticed anytime I buy other kinds of socks, they'll have holes in them within a couple weeks, and I need that durability during workouts. They were first recommended to me by a friend like a year ago, and ever since then, I've been loving them. So knowing that they reached out and they were happy to sponsor this video, I was like, please, I love your socks. Feel good and do good with Bombas. Know that with every purchase, you'll give to someone in need, and you'll get 20% off if you're a new customer. Go to bombas.com/Shervin and use code Shervin20 at checkout. Now back to the next tip. Tip number 5, get the most accurate heart rate measurement. So there are a lot of factors that can impact your heart rate reading. Not only do you want a snug Apple Watch on your wrist, but there are other factors that can impact your reading. And there are certain accuracy and limitations of the watch. So just keep those in mind. Not every piece of technology is perfect. I know it's Apple and we think they can do everything, but there are limitations, okay? Calm down. One thing I love measuring in the Apple Health app is my cardio fitness levels. I can measure how hard my heart is working when I'm doing a walk or an outdoor run. You can see I haven't been exercising as much recently, so it's downtrending. It's kind of kicking me in the butt, you know, get back out there. I'm a little injured, so I can't do that right now. So maybe check that from time to time. One thing you want to keep in mind is under watch, and if you go down to privacy, that this heart rate toggle is activated, because if it's off, your watch is not going to get you heart rate readings. I typically like to make sure that the other ones are also on. I just love as much data as I can get. Number 6, choose the best workout. So when you open up the workout app on your Apple Watch, you want to make sure that you're selecting the right workout for your training. There's a ton of options. There's indoor run, outdoor run. There's other, if it's super generic and you can't find it. There's open water swim, multi-sport, elliptical, stair stepper, rower. You can do custom workouts. That's for another video. Dance, Tai Chi, cool down, and you can even add workouts. If you can't find it, go ahead and scroll through here. There is a long, endless list of every workout. It's in alphabetical order. Try to find the one that best fits you. So for example, I do a lot of strength training, so I will select traditional strength training. If I'm doing more of a CrossFit workout, I would do functional fitness. If I'm doing an indoor run on a treadmill or indoor track, I will select indoor run. If I'm going to do a cold plunge or sauna, I select mind body. And if you really want to be specific, you can go ahead and tap these triple dots. That's an extra bonus. You got a whole bunch of things like race routes, custom workouts, and a variety of different things like pacer as well. And why is that? Because different workouts are going to measure different kinds of data. So an indoor run is probably going to use your accelerometer more to figure out how far you've ran, whereas an outdoor run is going to use your GPS and accelerometer to figure out how far you're going. Which leads us into, how is the indoor run going to be accurate? Well, you can use your outdoor runs to help make them more accurate. Tip number 7, calibrate your Apple Watch. Calibrate your Apple Watch's distance, pacing, and calorie accuracy as much as possible. There are a couple settings we want to update, or at least double check. Go down to your iPhone settings app, scroll down to privacy and security, select location services, and make sure that location services is turned on right here at the top. Scroll all the way down to system services. Make sure that motion and calibration distances is on. And then this next step requires you to go outside. So grab your Apple Watch, put it on, go to a flat open area that offers great GPS connection. So ideally no clouds, no trees, no tall buildings. We're in New York City, so that's pretty much impossible. Open the workout app. Select outdoor run or outdoor walk. If you have the Ultra, wait for GPS to lock. For the other devices, just let them start. Select outdoor run or outdoor walk. You can go ahead here and select a 20-minute timer. You can select create workout, do time, do 20 minutes, right? Once your GPS is locked on the Ultra, or just start it on all the other devices, walk or run at a normal pace for about 20 minutes. And if your mom calls, like mine always does, and you can't finish the workout, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and do it again later on. You can complete the 20 minutes over multiple outdoor workout sessions. If you're doing different speeds of running or walking, just make sure you do a full calibration for each speed, a full total 20 minutes. So you want to run at the same pace or walk at the same pace for 20 minutes total. Can be broken up in multiple segments. Then the Apple Watch will automatically calibrate your accelerometer using the GPS. It'll start to learn your stride lengths at different speeds. And as you use your watch outside, it will continue to calibrate that over time. This can also help with calculating the proper calories in your workout app. So if you haven't done this yet, highly recommend it. Maybe you're already automatically doing it in your everyday life, right? And make sure your height, weight, birthday, all that information is up to date in your profile. And lastly, if you are having any issues or you just want to reset, another thing you can do is open up the watch app, go to privacy, scroll all the way down, go ahead and select reset fitness calibration, and that can help restart the whole calibration process. All right, once calibration is complete, when you're doing indoor workouts, it's more likely to be accurate on your distance and pacing. So if you just love the treadmill, get at least one outdoor run in, and then that'll help define most of your other treadmill runs. Unless you're using Gym Kit, which is a whole nother story, you can tap your watch to the treadmill. It'll automatically send your distance pacing data from the treadmill to the watch. Love that feature. The support article doesn't fully talk about how that data can be used to help calibrate the watch, but that is hands down my favorite indoor running way. Tip number 7.5, 8.5, don't do this one, HRV readings. I found this online and I was like, it's a cool trick, let's do it. You want to open up the watch app on your phone, go ahead and scroll down to heart, and this will actually deactivate irregular heart rate notifications. This is why I'm not recommending this. Go into the heart app and you just want to scroll down to AFib history and turn that on. Once that is active, if you go to the health app, you can see, hey, my AFib history is on. I'm getting weekly notifications. Maybe I'll turn those off. I do not have AFib, but when you do activate this, and I don't know why, it increases the number of heart rate variability or HRV readings that you get. So I can go ahead and tap HRV, heart rate variability, and you can see if I tap day, you can see how many I'm getting. It's pretty numerous. If you go back, when I didn't have that activated, you can see how it's a little more dispersed in terms of the number of readings, right? Obviously at night, you'll get more. At daytime, you get a little bit less. See, this is nighttime, that's daytime. But now if I come to here, I'm getting essentially the same amount of readings during the night and the daytime. So if you're like, hey, I want more HRV readings. Not only that, but you can use the Breathe app to get heart rate variability measurements. So some apps will recommend that you do kind of a quick little breathe session right when you wake up, and you can capture your morning HRV that way as well. Since you enjoyed this video, go watch my video where I tested the Apple Watch calorie burn versus a sports lab. It'll be linked right here.